Howdy, folks. This is just a short interim update on how things are going with the Grundig. So I've ordered up various bits and pieces, and while I'm waiting for them, it's just really been a general clean up and tidy up. So I've been getting all the gunk out from underneath these tone controls and cleaning up the tumbler wheels themselves and the piano keys and stuff. Unfortunately, the two end ones where the force on the keys is most, the top of the keys is cracked. Might be able to do something about that at some stage later on, not sure. Also, as other people have reported on their restores, the little red rubber string running across the tone control indicators there is pretty badly perished. So I hope it survives. But I probably have to look for a fix for that at some point. The other main area for cleaning and tidy up has been basically all the wheels which carry drive cords. So everything was sort of very gunky and greasy, and so I've been cleaning all those guys up so that they're nice and clean and free of oil and gunk and dirt, and ready for the dial cords when they come. Also, these little wheels down here have all been removed and cleaned up and lightly greased in the bearings and so on. The other thing I've done is I've been working on this clutch mechanism. So the flywheel itself, the cast iron was all pretty rusty, so I just treated that with one of those metal rust things which makes the rust permanent and doesn't go any further, so hopefully they don't have to worry about that. The problem with the binding or scraping on the mechanism is really because the rubber pads are worn a bit, and so the ideal fix would be to adjust the actuator fork so that the two paddles are, say, further apart, but there's no adjustment for that. You can just adjust the whole fork one way or the other. So after various bits of faffing around, I think I have it now, at least for a while anyway, but probably have to replace those rubber pads at some point, so it's not binding now in the AM position. So when I put it in the FM, we're good. So for the moment at least, we seem to be okay. What else? So some of the components have started to arrive. So this is a new dual multi-section electrolytic, and it's one of those nice high quality ones. And I noted from my guitar amp stuff that the quality of the sound is determined in large part by the quality of the electrolytics in the power supply. So we thought, let's go for it, and I ordered up some 10-watt resistors to put when I replace the bridge rectifier, so we get the voltage correct. So yes, that's pretty much it, I think, for the chassis right now. One slight little accident. The bulbs, the dial bulbs, get their feed. The wire, I don't know if you can see this in the video, this little wire here, it was soldered onto the back of the filament connection for the Magic Eye, and well, I think it must have been on the bridge of falling off anyway, because when I moved it slightly it just came off. So I'll just have to put that back when the time comes, and then solder this other end of it to chassis, just the way it was originally. Oh yes, the dial back plate. So I've removed all the rust, give it all a good clean and degrease, edge primer, and then some cream paint. Unfortunately, the color of cream, which is the best fit, I couldn't find as an aerosol, so this is hand painted on. I've done 3 coats of it, which hopefully gives enough depth that I can sand off the center part here to remove any brush strokes, and then maybe give it a coat of satin clear coat or something like that to protect it, because at the moment this is a matte finish. I've started also to have a quick look at the cabinet. Let's have a look at that. Two last things on the chassis. I've rescreened the inside of the tone control cover with the copper tape, so that's now rescreened, and I splashed out on a new old stock Magic Eye. So yeah, that'll be a big day when we get all that lighting up. So the case, the cabinet. Structurally it's all there, everything looks in pretty good nick. The top is obviously has some pretty bad damage done to it. It has a sort of red paint on it. I don't know if it probably doesn't show up that well on the video. Nope, not really. But what I discovered is it looks like it's touch-up wax. Not sure how they got it to flow like that, but you can scrape it off quite easily with a scraper and get down to the original finish. Again, it's very hard to see, but there may have been a beading running around here, I don't know, around the edge. Yeah, quite a bit of damage here to the front edge, which is all filled in with filler. So we'll have to get all that back to original wood and see exactly what we need to do. But the rest of it looks fixable. I've just taped the VHF antenna up here to keep it out of the way while I work on the inside. So if we look inside. Okay, so apart from some rust, everything looks sound in here. Nothing of any major concern. Probably the big piece of work in here is going to be the VHF antenna, which is made up of these two plates, which I thought were metal, but they're actually the same paper with the aluminium coating on as was screening the inside of the tone control cover. Unfortunately, there's a fair bit of rust, the white colouring, around here where the joint is. There was a lot of it over here. There's plenty more over there, and unfortunately the rust pretty well goes through to the paper. So if you try and sand it off, you very quickly get down to the paper. But I think you can see here where I had to go at gently cleaning it. And next door, all the gunk that's accumulated over the years. There's also missing from the end here. From the research I've been doing, there's also a fairly large diameter loading coil or impedance matching coil across here, but it seems to be gone. And this here, the two wires of the from the aerial connection are just soldered together, which kind of negates the role of the antenna itself. So we'll have to look at that. That's probably the big piece of work with the cabinet as far as functionality is concerned. The rest of it will be just, if you like, redoing the finish, and that should be it's a bit of work, but entirely doable. The Grundig logo underneath the dial was right here. Had a lot of rust around it, or corrosion, and I was very nervous about how I might get it off. But as it turned out, it wasn't that difficult. It's basically a logo, and it's got three nice pins which are just bent over and go through three clearance holes drilled in the front of the cab. That's what I like to see. So you just push that in. So when it's all refinished and cleaned, it'll be a piece of cake to put that back. Then the rest will be cleaning the speaker grill, and etc, etc. So there you go, folks. That's where it is. I guess when the dial drive cords come, it'll be mostly chassis work until we get the thing working, and then do a bit more on the cabinet. That's it for now. Cheers.